Hello, hello! Thanks for stopping by. My name is Virginia and I am the creator here at Unique Boutique. In today's video, I'm going to show you another turtle that I made recently, and this one is really adorable as well. It's a sunflower turtle. How stinking cute is this turtle? It's a sunflower. It's a turtle. He is absolutely adorable. So yeah, I think I did see this on somebody else's YouTube video that she had made. And so I looked up the pattern on Etsy and I was able to find it. This is the pattern. It is a no-sew flower turtle by Loop and Billy 2024. Maybe a little hard to read. That is one of my little pet peeves about this pattern, I guess you could say. It's very pretty. It's written very well. I just don't think the choices of how they did the fonts was a really great choice. It's very, very light. Can you even see? Let me turn it to another page where there's a little more writing. So here, can you see that? So they wrote the pattern, and then there's some instructions up here that's barely able to be seen. I do like that they left the background white. In my previous video, I did mention something about trying to conserve ink, so I appreciate that. But they did their background in white and their lettering in white with a shadow around the lettering, which is, it's pretty, but it's very hard to read when it's printed. So that would be the only thing there that I would change. There's lots and lots of pictures, which are great. I love when they do that. You can see down here, you construct the whole body first, and then the flower is constructed later. So again, I always change something about every single pattern that I make. So what I did for changes in this pattern, I made the head, the body, all of that is exactly the same as it is in the pattern. However, my tail is different. They wanted you to crochet, just like when you do your little fins, that you would crochet a tail at that time as well to be crocheted in later. But I always do these cute little flat tails. To me, they're more realistic and they're a lot easier. And all you have to do is when you're in your round is I do a chain 5 and then I do half crochets back and I create a cute little flat tail that kind of rolls up a little bit. So that's how I do my tails on all of my turtles. So that was a little modification that I had to make. Also, if you see in one of my previous videos, I had talked about finding this really pretty yellow yarn at my local Michael's now that they're in clearance. And I really liked it. And I said, that will be the perfect sunflower color for my turtle. So I grabbed that. I already had the darker yellow in my yarn stash that I had used on previous projects. And then when I sat down to start working on the pattern, it doesn't call for Bernat blanket yarn for the petals. They wanted you to use velvet yarn. So I said, well, I'm going to try it in the Bernat blanket anyway. So I started to try to make the individual petals. These are all individual petals on the original pattern, which is very pretty. I do like the way they came out. I just couldn't make it work for myself, especially since I was trying to use blanket yarn. The petals just weren't coming out. Excuse me. I did have a nice yellow velvet yarn, so I went and pulled that out of my yarn stash and tried to use that as well. But I also didn't like how they were coming out in the velvet. I think they were too small. So I scrapped that whole idea and I just decided to, and I used 2 colors, which in the original, they only used the one yellow color. I wanted to use the 2 colors. So I started with my first color, which is this Bernat blanket in Burnt Mustard. This is the Burnt Mustard color by Bernat Blanket. So that is my first row of petals. And then my second row of petals is this Bernat Blanket in the color Sun Soaked. It's very pretty. It's a little brighter color than I normally do use, but it's not that bad. And it's very, very soft. So I'm wondering if this is like an older formula yarn, because I had never seen it available at my local Joann's until the clearance sales started. So it's very pretty, very, very soft, and perfect color for sunflowers. My body was made using this yarn that I got on sale at Ollie's for $4.99 a skein. So I grabbed a couple of these. My Ollie's didn't have a great selection of Barnett yarn, so I only bought a few. And this is the smoky green. This is also another one of my favorites for making turtles because it comes out in this really nice muted kind of green color that I love. So there's that. And then I used my trusty old brown, which my wrapper says taupe. It's a Bernat blanket yarn, but I'm not quite sure if this is the correct wrapper that goes on here. But this is the only brown. It's like a milk chocolate brown Bernat blanket yarn that I've ever found. And I purchased this online from Hirschner's. So if you're looking for a true brown blanket yarn, right here. As you can see, I love it. So this is all I have left. I use that for the outside. This is a little ridge that I put on in the middle just to give it a little more shape and texture. And then I also used the Bernat baby blanket in baby sand for the very center of my sunflower. So there's a lot of colors going on here. Like I said, how mine differs is that I use the blanket yarn for my petals. I did not make the petals individually. I just crocheted around in my first color choice and made up my own petals. So they are all crocheted right in the round. Same thing with the center. The center was just crocheted right in the round. I started the sand color in the middle, and while it was still open, I did this surface chain around here to give it that little extra ridge that I really, really like. And let's see, I believe that is pretty much the only modifications that I did besides crocheting on my eyes or embroidering on my eyes. If you've watched my other videos, you know I do not like safety eyes, and I try to avoid them at all costs. I do have bins of them. I purchased them. I was planning on using them, but I've decided I much prefer the embroidered eyes. I think they're much safer. And yeah, so he came out really, really cute. So just remember, if you ever buy a pattern, I guess moral of the story is, and you get stuck on something, that's okay. Just wing it, make it up yourself. I mean, my ending product, I absolutely love. Does it look exactly like the original? No, but I love mine. I love the way it came out. And make your projects yours. And I do believe that helps to set your projects apart from other people, because literally nobody else is going to have one exactly like this, because it was something that I made up in my own head, right? So yeah, thank you again for watching my video, sticking through till the end. I hope you liked my little sunflower turtle. I'm sure he's going to sell right away. I have another market coming up not this weekend, but next weekend. And I'm really excited about that one. It's my first outdoor market of the year, and it's at a really beautiful venue, lots and lots of people. So I'm sure he will find a home that day. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope some of my tips will help somebody else out there. Please let me know if you've tried any of my tips, or if you have other tips that you use yourself, because I'm always looking for, little tips and tricks on how to do just about anything. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.